Absolutely necessary. Is tab the answer? X-rated zoom or stability? How many giga makes byte sound right?
Up on deck 2. Port to CIC.
Which game is virtually up?
Lambent stocks detected.
Press beep for geeks. Gadgets and Gizmos show on Headlines Today.
Now, computing power doubles up year on year. From a single core processor to 8 cores in your smart devices, the game of processing goes a notch up. This year has been touted as the year of octa-core smart devices, and adding another one to the list is from the house of Karbonn. It's called the Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus. But before we get you a review on this new smart device, let's tell you what the specs are like. Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus is an octa-core smartphone with a 1.7 GHz MT6592 processor backed by 2 GB of RAM. Up front, it sports a 5-inch Full HD IPS display. This is a dual SIM smartphone with a 16-megapixel rear camera with dual LED flash. Up front, there's an 8-megapixel camera for selfies. Octane Plus is powered by a 2000 mAh battery, runs on Android 4.4 KitKat, and is priced at Rs 19,490. Alright, those were the specs on the all-new Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus. So let's begin with the review of this new smartphone. Well, design-wise, it has a regular choco-block design to it with tapered edges, and the bottom of the phone curves very nicely. The design lines run very smoothly on the phone and integrates well with the body shell as well. This is a lightweight smartphone, has a plastic finish to it, and at the back the plastic is shiny and is of course a fingerprint magnet. This also attracts a lot of scratches. So design wise, the all new Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus is just a regular Joe. Now yes, it has the much loved 5-inch display that has pretty much become the standard on smartphones these days. It is a full HD display with a proper 1920 by 1080 pixels of resolution. But here's the irony of it. It doesn't feel like a full HD display. Especially under direct sunlight, it's a very highly reflective display. Under low lighting conditions, it is bright, but the color reproduction is just on the cooler side. You don't get that warm tones that you want to see in those images or even videos that you watch on a display of this resolution. Now add as many terms as you like, IPS, HD, but this just does not make it to the cut when it comes to the display on a smartphone that is almost worth 20,000 rupees. Now sure, it runs on a 1.7 GHz octa-core processor backed by 2 GB of RAM that promises lightning fast processing speed. But it does not perform as it promises on paper. For starters, it's loaded with a stock Android 4.4 KitKat operating system that should run smooth considering it has an octa-core processor on it. But then there are at times that you see a lot of lag even while you're switching windows. Multitasking is also a balancing act. Open too many apps and the phone starts to lag. And if you're in the limit of 4 to 6 apps opened in the background, well, you should be just fine on this one. Gaming wise also, it is just an average performer. There are frame drops that are seen in heavy graphic games, but then again, for a phone that is almost worth 20,000 rupees, you don't expect that. Performance wise, it does not even come as close to a Moto G, which actually runs on a quad-core processor and not on an octa-core processor. Now camera wise, the Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus is just epic. It packs in a 16 megapixel primary camera with an LED flash. The image results are just brilliant, even in low lighting conditions. The throw of the flash is also pretty good as it lights up subjects very evenly. For selfie lovers, it's got a brilliant 8 megapixel front-facing camera to it that gives you crystal clear selfies every single time. The camera app is also pretty easy to navigate and use. And this is where the smartphone proves its worth over other smartphones in this price range. Now, battery-wise, the Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus has a mere 2000 milliampere battery that drains out really fast. Of course, it's an octa-core smartphone, and just to remind you, all the 8 cores work simultaneously, so it is a power-hungry smartphone. And fitting it with just a 2000 milliampere battery wasn't such a good idea by Karbonn over there. The battery saving mode is also not that great as well. So on a single charge, the phone will just last you for about 15 hours with heavy usage. For rupees 19,490, let me just sum up the Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus for you guys in one line. The octa-core processor on this one is not a deal maker. Neither are the specs or the features that it has to offer. The only saving grace on this smartphone is its camera. And for that price range, you can get a much better performing quad-core smartphone at the end of the day. So right now, the Karbonn Titanium Octane Plus is not a recommendation from our side at least.